other words, brothers and sisters, it wasn't what Abel brought, it was how he brought it. His whole act of worship in Genesis 4 was shaped by trust in God. And that's the key difference between Abel and Cain. Cain was not a man that lived by faith, nor did he offer up his sacrifice by faith. That's the emphasis that the author wants to highlight here. And it says, John Calvin writes in his writings, his commentary, he says, Abel's sacrifice was for no other reason preferable to that of his brother, except that it was sanctified by faith, period. Recall the description in verse 1 when the author pivots to describe the nature and the character of faith. He says, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Brothers and sisters, that's Abel. I mean, consider where Abel sits in the grand timeline of the Bible. He's on page 3, right? He's just one generation from the Garden of Eden. There's no Bible. There's no prophets. There's no tabernacle. There's no priesthood. There's no written law. Abel was a man that did not have much at all, but he did have a few essential truths. He knew that God created everything by the power of his word, that he was the result of that creation. He was brought forth because of that creation. He knew that his parents had rebelled against God, and because of their sin and rebellion against his word, sin and death entered into the world. More importantly, he knew the one promise that God had given, and that one day a child would be born who would crush the serpent's head and undo the curse. That's it. That's all he had, and yet he believed. He believed that God would keep his promise. He believed that the curse would one day be reversed. He believed that the deliverer would come. And so Abel worshiped, and he brought an offering from his flock, fat portions, yes, included. And this wasn't just an act of duty. According to the book of Hebrews, it was an act of faith. Abel's sacrifice was a visible expression and demonstration of his trust in God's mercy and in God's word. And God saw that faith and was pleased by it.